In this video, we are going to hear some details about American-born Chinese written by Jean Luen Yang. First, let us discuss about the author. Jean Luen Yang was an American cartoonist, and he is a frequent lecturer on the subject of graphic novels and comics at comic book conventions and universities. Some of his works include The Rosary comic book published in 2003, Animal Crackers published in 2004, American Born Chinese published in 2006, and Eternal Smile published in 2009. So, American Born Chinese is a graphic novel by Jean Luen Yang, and it is released in 2006 by First Second Books, and it was a finalist for the 2006 National Books Awards in the category of Young People's Literature. It won the 2007 Michael L. Prince Award, the 2007 Eisner Award for the Best Graphic Album. Let us look into the synopsis of the novel. So, the story of the American Born Chinese consists of three seemingly separate tales which are tied together at the end of the book. First storyline is Yang's contemporary rendition of the Chinese story of the Kung Fu practicing Monkey King of Flowering Fruit Mountain, the Monkey King, a character from the classic 16th century Chinese novel Journey to the West. Yang replaces the Buddha from the original story with a Christian influenced deity, Te Yo Su. Throughout the story, the Monkey King is unhappy with himself as a monkey and continually tries to become another version of himself. The Monkey King grows larger, taking a more human form. After being rejected from a divine dinner party, he takes down every deity that has been sent to stop him, growing stronger by each kill. The lesser deities flee to the more powerful being in the world, Te Yo Su, to stop the Monkey King. Taeyosu tries to help the Monkey King accept himself, but when the Monkey King refuses, Taeyosu imprisons him under a mountain of rocks. A monk named Wong Lai Tasso is sent by Taeyosu on a mission to carry three packages to the west and is to pick up his disciple, the Monkey King, on his journey. He finds the Monkey King imprisoned under the mountain of rocks and frees him from the mountain by convincing the Monkey King to return to his original form. So this is the first storyline, and the main character here is the Monkey King, and Buddha replaced as Se Yo Su, and also Lai Tasao, a monk. The second storyline follows a child of Chinese immigrants named Jing Wang. His story links to the other two narratives and fits the form of an ethnic coming of age. His family moves from San Francisco's Chinatown to a suburb where he goes to school with only one Asian student, Susie Nakamura. The teachers and other students in Jin's school are all ignorant of his Chinese culture. Jin struggles with his Chinese identity and begins to reject it until he meets a new Asian student, Wei Chen. Wei Chen is a Taiwanese immigrant who just came to the United States, and he and Jin become best friends. Wei Chen Wei-Chen begins dating Susie Nakamura and he joins a group of friends. Jin begins dating Amelia Harris, a Caucasian girl in his class, but her friend Greg asks Jin not to ask her out anymore because he felt she needed to protect her image. Jin perceives this as a personal attack on him because of his race. Angry and confused, he kisses Susie and the friends having a falling out. That evening, Jin recalls the fight he had with Wei Chen and convinces himself that Wei Chen deserved it. That night, Jin has a dream about a Chinese woman he had met when he was younger who had told him that he could be anything if he wanted, as if he was willing to give up his soul. He awakens the next morning and looks in the mirror to see himself as a Caucasian boy, and he changes his name to Danny. So, in the second storyline, we see a character named Jin Wang, and there is Susie Nakamura, Wei Chen, Greg, Amelia Harris, and In the end, Jin changes his name to Danny. So Danny can be considered as an alter ego of this Jin. The third storyline follows Danny, a 16-year-old All-American boy, and his Chinese cousin Chinky, who has visited Danny annually for the past 3 years. Danny is embarrassed by Chinky, who is depicted as a racist stereotype, in a traditional queue with buck teeth, speaking in pidgin English. At the end of his narrative, at the end of this narrative, it is revealed that Chinky is the Monkey King in disguise. So, Monkey King from the first storyline. Danny is Jing Wang, who is transformed into a Caucasian boy after being prevented from pursuing the girl of his dreams because he was Chinese. The Monkey King tells Jin that his son Wei Chen was sent to live among the mortals without sin for 40 years, but no longer wanted to follow his father's footsteps of serving humans after becoming sickened by his classmates' self-centeredness. Wei Chen refused his father's visits from then on, so the Monkey King began visiting Danny instead, using the Chinky disguise to remind Jin of his heritage and convince him to rise above any negative stereotypes. Jin reconciles with Wei Chen and finally accepts his Chinese identity. So this is the synopsis of the novel. Novel contains three storylines. First the first the Monkey King, second about the Jin Wang, and third about Danny. Character list. First one is the Monkey King. A monkey who has lived for thousands of years and mastered all the heavenly disciplines. He yearns to join the ranks of God and after being rejected goes on a rampage. He managed to defeat many gods and goddesses but was buried under a mountain by Seiyosu for 500 years. He was later released by Wong Lai Tasao and accompanies him on his journey as a disciple. Because of their success, he was granted the role of emissary for Seiyosu. Next is Seiyosu is the creator of the universe and all the deities. In the part of American Born Chinese that is adapted from Journey to the West, Seiyozo has the role played by the Buddha in the original story. Yang made the change owing to the fact that he is Christian, specifically Roman Catholic and not a Buddhist. Next one is Wong Lai Tasao. Based upon Tang Sen Tang from Journey to the West, Wong Lai Tasao is a monk sent on a journey to Seiyozo. He is promised the Monkey King as a disciple. Next one is Jin Wang. Jin Wang is a Chinese American boy who wants to fit in with the white students at his new school in the suburb. He doesn't like talking too much at school, especially in front of Amelia, the girl he had a crush on. He is finally encouraged by his friend Wei Chen to ask her out. But this relationship is short lived. Greg, Amelia's friend, asks Jin to break up with her because he doesn't think Jin is right for Amelia. Amelia Harris is a white American girl who is the classmate of Jin and Wei Chen. Jin has a crush on her. Wei Chen's son. Wei Chen's son is a Taiwanese immigrant who slowly becomes Jin's best friend. His girlfriend is Susie Nakamura. It is revealed in the story's conclusion that he is the Monkey King's eldest son and originally wanted to become an emissary but abandoned his role after being betrayed by Jin. He believed humans to be petty soulless creatures and wanted to spend the rest of his days using mortal world for his pleasure. Suzy Nakamura is the young Japanese American girl in Jin and Wei Chen's class. She starts dating Wei Chen in the middle school. Greg is a white American boy and a friend of Amelia Harris. While he initially appears nice, it is later revealed he is a racist, disapproving of Jin's relationship with Amelia. Danny is a white average American boy. Danny is always irritated and embarrassed by his Asian cousin Chinky. Since Chinky's annual visit began when Danny was in 8th grade, Danny has had to change schools every year since due to the appearance and mannerisms of Chinky ruining his perception by his peers. Danny turns out to be Jin Wang under a new identity. Chinky is a startling caricature of the negative Chinese stereotypes. He is Danny's larger-than-life Chinese cousin who, to Danny's embarrassment, comes to visit every year. Chinky wears antiquated Chinese clothing, the traditional Q hairstyle, and literally has yellow skin, buck teeth, and eyes squinting so tightly that the pupils cannot be seen. He loudly speaks extraordinary Chinglish at all times, likes to play tricks on people, and possesses an unnatural sexual appetite. Chinky is the Monkey King in disguise. So, the major themes in this work include racial struggle and stereotype, transformation and understanding identity. So, these two are the themes in this work.